have any foods that give you flashbacks of your time in primary school? For me, it's melting moments. Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video, and today we're going to be making matcha melting moments. Melting moments are kind of like shortbread, they're really buttery biscuits, but the difference between melting moments and shortbread is the fact that they are piped. They're sometimes called Viennese whirls, but I know them as melting moments, and they're called that because they melt in your mouth. Not like ice, obviously, they are not frozen, but the texture of them on the outside is very crisp, and then once you bite into them and start chewing, it just melts in your mouth and is really soft and silky. And I remember making these in primary school. We were really little, so we didn't bake them ourselves. We just did the stirring part, but then our teachers would take the tray of them and they would bake them up for us and bring them back. And I remember how delicious and buttery they were, and how much I wanted more. We were only allowed one each. The main reason probably so that there was enough to go around for everyone, but also because it's probably a very bad idea to get a load of 7-year-olds hopped up on sugar. Now that I'm a big girl, I can make them whenever I want. Whenever I want is actually a few years ago now. According to my blog, I first published this recipe in January 2019, and I believe that was the last time I made them. So I'm doing tiny Tasha justice today by making them again, and also making them matcha melting moments because I love matcha. And even though they look a little bit fancy, they are ridiculously easy to make. You just need 6 very simple ingredients for this recipe, and not that much time to make them either. They only bake up in about 8 to 10 minutes. I do like to chill them a bit before baking them. That helps harden the butter so it melts more slowly and it keeps the shape in the oven. Some people just bake them as soon as they've made the biscuit dough. It's all down to preference, but I think they hold up a lot better after having been in the fridge. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Now usually when we're making biscuits or cake we have to preheat the oven first, but in this case we're actually going to make the batter first because we need to chill it for a bit before we bake it. Here I have 100 grams of unsalted butter which I've softened at room temperature. And I'm going to add 20 grams of, this is icing sugar, I almost forgot what it was. A tablespoonful of matcha. And a generous pinch of salt. And we're just going to beat these together. Now we're going to add 95 grams of plain flour and 20 grams of corn flour, and this is the flour that's going to give it the melt in the mouth texture. And let's give this a stir together too. And that's literally it. Now I'm going to put all of this in a piping bag which I've fitted with a star tip. Now here I have a large baking tray which I've lined with some non-stick baking paper. And all we're going to do is we're going to pipe swirls and gems. If you've got any bits sticking up, then just gently pat them down with your finger. And we're going to pop these in the fridge for half an hour to an hour. Once you're ready to bake, preheat the oven to 180 degrees C. Once your oven's come up to the proper temperature and these are nice and chilled, you can see they're very hard since they've chilled in the fridge, let's bake these for 8 to 10 minutes, just as the edges are starting to go golden brown. And that was just 8 minutes for me before they started going golden, so they will do. Right, now we're going to let these cool down completely, and they look so cute. These are so cute and they really take me back to primary school. These ones in particular, this is the shape we made when we were in primary school. So cute. Oh my gosh, they're so stinking cute. Like I said, this is the shape that, oh, it got really dark all of a sudden. This is the shape that we made in primary school. Obviously not with matcha at the time, that would be a little bit bougie for UK primary school children, especially about 30 years ago. But yes, we just piped the simple star shape. As much as I want to pop this in my mouth right now, I'm going to be good and I'm going to eat the one that I already snapped in half. Now that I've snapped it in half, it's trying to crumble in my fingers. They're so delicate. Cheers! Melt in the mouth. That is perfect. I swear once you start making these you won't be able to stop. And obviously I made quite a small batch this time, but you know, feel free to double it if you want more. Corn flour is absolutely crucial to getting that melt in the mouth texture. I've tried it with just plain flour before to see if I could get away with it, and you can't. It's okay, it's just a hard biscuit, but it's more like a traditional Scottish shortbread, which is also good, but not a melting moment, which is what we want to make in this case. And also with these quantities, because the butter to flour ratio is quite high, for some reason it melts a lot faster in the oven with just plain flour. The corn flour somehow helps to bind it and keep those piped ridges. So yes, don't skip on the corn flour in this recipe, it's the whole point. And the icing sugar too, you could use caster sugar, granulated sugar, but because it's less finely milled you might get a slight crunch, which again is fine, but if you want that true smooth melt in the mouth flavour, icing sugar. If you don't want matcha melting moments, I don't know why you're here, but you can just omit the matcha and add 5 grams more plain flour instead, because you need to replace the dry ingredient that you've taken out. So if you do that, you'll just have plain old melting moments. Also delicious. Yes, by the way, if you saw the last couple of recipe videos, you would have seen that I had burnt my wrist. Still healing, it's a lot better now. I just need to keep the cover on for a few days longer. It's only been just over a week, but because I batch made quite a few recipes in lieu of my China trip, which I think I'm in China right now, then of course it looks like I've just been suffering for weeks, but I haven't. It's only been over a week, just over a week. Couple more days and I'll be free. And I believe next week is my last week in China, so I'll just need to batch make a couple more videos, because obviously when I come back I'll be horrendously jet lagged and I probably won't have the energy to make a recipe video for the following week, so I'll need to make an extra one. That is not a problem though, because that means more delicious baked goods for me and Mr. Tash Cakes. And now it's really light all of a sudden. So there you go, melt in the mouth matcha melting moments. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more, give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it, comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. Oh, is there going to be another storm? The wind's going crazy at the moment.